Monday, January 8th, 2024. And I believe there are no items to report, no actionable items in closed session report, so we'll go ahead and start with the Pledge of Allegiance. Please stand and help me, join me in saluting our nation's flag. Ready, salute.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Excellent. Next item is public comment per Board Policy 2350. Any person may address the board at this time, either on an agenda item or other matters of interest to the public that are within the subject matter jurisdiction of the board. A maximum of 5 minutes is allowed for each speaker, with a maximum time of 15 minutes per item unless otherwise extended by the board. So at this time, I'd like to invite anyone who would like to make public comment concerning items on the agenda. Seeing no one, I'd like to invite anyone who would like to make public comments concerning items not on the agenda. Seeing no one, okay, we'll move to the next item. Board executive staff reports. We would normally have first the student trustee report, but I believe Ms. Parker is not with us today. So we'll go ahead and move on to board member reports. Trustee Sherman.
No report.
Trustee Nunes.
I have nothing today.
Trustee Lane.
Claire?
Trustee Cardoza.
None. New year.
Sounds good. Well, no report from me as well. Next would be foundation report, but I understand Mr. Foster is not with us today.
Under the weather, yes.
Under the weather, so we'll go ahead and move on to accreditation report. Dr. Lacerna.
Good evening, everybody. Do they already have this, Megan, or do
I'll pull it up on the screen, though.
I? Okay, well, I have a couple.
You have one,
extras.
okay.
I want to send those down. So, I apologize for this not getting in your packet, but it was just sent out on Friday from Dr. Powell, the president of the ACCJC. Just wanted to share, sorry, I don't have enough, his email from you, some updates on ACCJC. They've launched the new accreditation standards, and institutions are piloting them, and we will be one of the first taking the new standards on. They have a new Salesforce-based technology, and they've hired two new vice presidents, Nikawana Shaw, who I've been working with as she's been on one of the commissioners, and now she's hired as a vice president. And then Melanie Scheil, who I've also worked with before. She's coming from Copper Mountain College, as she was in my role there. And then that's it. There's some new Department of Education negotiated rulemaking starting next week, and our lobbyists are working on some issues that are happening with national accreditation. This was hot off the presses, so I just wanted to share that with you.
Like to make any comments on the report?
Great report.
Oh, thank you. And I apologize, I should have said hi and Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
And to you too.
Moving forward, next item, Superintendent President's Report. Dr. Calvin.
Happy New Year and hello. Just two quick items. This Friday, we will have our spring convocation in the theater from 8 to 10. Probably last till 9:30 in the theater, and then we'll meet over in the Morrow Gym for refreshments. Should be a fun morning. Hope the board can join us there. And then 2 weeks later, we'll have our annual board retreat at Fresno Pacific. Half day Thursday, starting with lunch, meeting new managers, and then coming back on Friday for an all-day retreat. Looking forward to that. And we'll be sure and get the packet out at the beginning of the week so you're prepared to look at everything we've got going here at the college. Questions?
There are no questions. We'll move on to next item, reports. Academic Senate President's Report. Mr. Arzola, do not see him in the audience. Next will be Costa President's Report. Ms. Redden. CSEA President's report, Ms. Kane. Is there anyone on that?
Oh, no.
And then COSAFA President's update, Ms. Alberti. No? All right, we'll move on to the next item, information, the 2022-2023 audit report. Mr. Perez,
Good evening, Board. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Tonight is information of our audit report for 22-23, and it's per educational code. Every year we do an audit, and this is for 22-23. The board authorizes this. What happens is we have John Dominguez, our managing partner from CWDL on the line. He's going to go over the report. But part of the scope is to look at all of our funds, look at our internal controls to make sure we're in compliance with state and federal laws. So with that, John, I'll turn it over to you. You all have a copy of the audit, and John will point out some pages in the book to review. Then after that, feel free to ask any questions of myself or John. Okay. Good evening, John.
Excellent, thank you. Yeah, I'll be quick, and I'll stop and certainly answer any questions. But we've got really good, really positive results, so it makes it nice to come here before you and just share some brief highlights of those. So I'll mention a few pages. You're welcome to follow along, but also verbal is fine. But kind of the big contribution we make to this report is our auditor's opinion. So we issue 4 opinions throughout the report. Our first is on document page 1 of the report, which is our independent auditor's report. And so essentially we're saying there the financial data that management provided to us was accurate, it was complete. We did not have any adjustments. It agreed to what was submitted to the state chancellor's office. And so that is the best results at our disposal, and very pleased to present those to you. On the MD&A begins on page 9 of the report. Just some really good highlights, good information. And actually, I'll give you a PDF page 12 if you want to jump along there. But just has some good information on the operating results, some information, on the economic factors and some future outlooks. But, very thorough, very comprehensive information provided by management. On PDF page 20, we've got just a little summary of the foundation that's included here in the district audit report as it is, and I might be a page off. Maybe we need to go one more down, 21, I apologize. There we go. We got a little summary information on the foundation as a component unit of the district. The assets are presented here, and on the subsequent page, some of the activity for the fiscal year. But again, overall, great results by the district. There was an implementation of a new accounting standard to bring on some subscription-based information technology arrangements. They had a really smooth, flawless implementation of that. So great results there. And then kind of just concluding on PDF page 93, it should be, as long as I didn't get off by a page there, just a summary of those additional 3 opinions that I mentioned. So we had probably 94. We'll go down one more. There it is. Summary of those additional. So we mentioned the financial statement. We also issued an opinion on the district's compliance with federal awards. And you can see the programs that were tested there. And then the state awards, all the significant requirements mandated by the state chancellor's office. And so we were pleased to report, no findings, no instances of non-compliance, and no material weaknesses nor significant deficiencies. So really positive results overall in the audit. And be happy to answer any questions you might have about some procedures or results, but great news.
Big question.
Ken's got 10 or 12 down there.
Yeah, I'm still amazed, being a former auditor and doing that for many years. I'm still amazed by the fact that for year after year that you come in and do an audit and you have very few or no adjustments to the final audit report. That's not that's not the history I had in some of the clients that we dealt with. So I think it says something to the leadership at the college and and Ron's department in particular. So, when you have a report that's over 100 and some 20 pages, and to get a clean report on all the opinions that you rendered, I think is commendable. And so I don't know that I have any particular questions other than those comments that I just made.
Good?
Great, thank you, John, appreciate it.
All right.
Before you go on, I just want to kudos out to our Chief Accounting Officer, Leandra Miller Hernandez, our Budget Accounting Officer, and the entire district. I mean, we are the no people, fiscal is the one to say no, but it's make sure we're in compliance, right? It's not because we're mean people, but you see evidence here where there's no findings, so that's good that we are taking seriously our job and making sure that we are safekeeping with the taxpayer dollars. So again, thank you.
Board is very thankful that your team does that for us.
Ron, I did just a parting comment that when I looked on, and I think some of the pages that he was referring to didn't quite coincide with the pages that I was looking at, so there may have been, but anyway, I'm looking at page 10, which is the statement of net position, or what I would refer to as the balance sheet of our organization, and the under total current assets, where it reflects our this year's number is 166 million. Last year's number was 137 million, a substantial increase. For the most part, that goes hand in hand with the fact that our unrestricted fund balance has increased proportionately as well. So our cash position is strong, the way I see it, on that, based on the numbers that are reflected here. So.
You want to have a good cash position, especially in these times right now, so it's always good to have that money in the back.
Yeah, I keep hearing about what's coming down the road, so it's good that we're positioned to deal with whatever issues were dealt with from a financial standpoint in the next year or so.
So the governor will come out Wednesday with his budget proposal, and then I'll be in Sacramento next week, Wednesday, to get the final details of that, and I'll be bringing forward to the board finance committee on that, and then,
I knew I canceled my golf game for a reason, was to make sure I heard that report.
Very good. Moving on, we have the consent calendar. All items listed in the consent calendar are considered routine and will be enacted by one motion. An item may be removed from the consent calendar at the request of any member of the Board of Trustees or any person in the audience and considered as a separate agenda item. Items for review are minutes to the previous meeting, personnel report, payment of bills, 2023-2024, working budget approval. Are there any items you guys would like to review independently?
No, move to approve.
Second.
Moved by Trustee Cardoza, seconded by Trustee Sherman. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. Any abstentions? Motion carries. Action item, next item, approval of contract extension, Flock Group Incorporated, resolution number 2024-01.
yes, this
Perez.
contract approval is seeking the board, contract is seeking board approval for Flock Group. What it is, it's the license plate readers that district police use. Normally, we do a 3-year contract, but the vendor offered us, if we did a 5-year contract, that they would give a discount. So by going from a 3 to a 5, we're saving $60,000 of taxpayer dollars. So what we have to do, because it's over the bid threshold limit of $114,000, we have to take it to the board for approval to acknowledge that we did not competitively bid. A couple reasons why. One, we already have this vendor. District police have already been through training. They implemented all the equipment and the software. So it wouldn't have behoove us to go to a different vendor and start all over from scratch. So and then 2 is over the limit. So those are the 2 main reasons why we are taking this as an action item for the board to approve the resolution 2024-01. I or Chief Charles would be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Ron, is this paid up front? In other words, we make the payment,
We make it on a yearly basis.
you still
Yearly
make it on a yearly
subscription, yes,
basis,
uh-huh.
except we're contracted for
For 5
that
years, yes.
term. Okay.
Questions?
I move we approve 2024-01 resolution.
By trustee Sherman,
I'll second.
seconded by trustee Nunez. All in favor, say.
Question.
Oh, sorry.
Ronnie, I think you explained it adequately, but it makes comment here in claim of a savings of 60,000, but that's 60,000 over their previous bid, their bid of
Their previous
3 to
quote
5.
to us, yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Do we have some sense that this is within market for maybe any other district that's recently had this sort of a bid or anything like that?
I do know that currently, when we initially signed the contract earlier this year, we were only the 3rd college or university in the state to have it. But majority of the departments around our county are going through the same thing we're doing. So they're putting it out to everybody that has the system or is getting the system. They're offering this 5-year contract with all of them.
Do we have a sense of what they, if they're going with any other vendor? Or
To my knowledge, right now, there is no other vendor.
There is no other.
Offers what we're getting out of this. It's kind of, it's really unique. It's really big on the East Coast and it's working its way to the West Coast, but it's one of those pretty unique piece of equipment and software that's coming out right now. But there's really no competitor at the moment.
So if a car that enters, a car enters one of our parking lots that has been stolen in Farmersville earlier that day, and that license plate got entered into the system, our officers would get notice within seconds.
Right.
And we can intercept that car on our campus like that. But it's tied in with a larger system. Unfortunately, all the departments in this region are using the same system. I get where you're going, John. I just, first of all, I don't think there's a comparable other bidder that we could, or other vendor that we could bid with, but I think we are getting the same price as other law enforcement agencies that are using the same system.
Yeah, I don't have any question at all about the value of the system.
Better
Value.
ones.
Yeah, at a single event.
I do know the price for the cameras are universal through every agency. So they charge by the camera on a leased, yearly lease. So it depends, if it's Visalia, if it's us, it's all the same price.
Okay.
So it doesn't have anything to do with the jurisdiction or size of the agency or anything like that.
I did have a question about the, I have to go back in the details, but advanced poll or something like, it was the difference between like $500 and $5,000 or something. I mean, one was literally 10 times the other one. Do you have any sense of what that is or which one we would choose?
There's a few features that we don't have.
Uh-huh.
That really wouldn't pertain to what we're using it for. But what we have is not the bottom line, but it's kind of mid-range as far as the software.
Okay. I guess I was looking for some assurance that we weren't going for the Cadillac, so, and I think you gave that to me.
There's features that they can track cars following other cars, and we're not looking for any of that. We're just looking for.
That's it. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
It's also for parking enforcement? No? So if someone purchases a parking pass, they still need to get a sticker and everything?
Our parking is virtual, but it's not part of this program. This one we use for investigative, but we can also use for if we have a student concern or a student that we've expelled or someone that should be on campus, we can put that license plate in our system. And if that person comes on our campus, it alerts us immediately, tells us who it is and what the reason they're on that system.
Tangent, but you said the parking permits are virtual, so how do you determine?
You buy a permit,
Right.
And you put your vehicle information in.
Right.
And then when my students are walking the parking lot, they can do a search or they can take a picture of the license plate. And it tells the reader if there's a valid permit or there's not, so.
Any other questions? Maybe we initiate a roll call vote, please.
Trustee Sherman?
Aye.
Trustee Nunes?
Aye.
Trustee Lane?
Aye.
Trustee Cardoza? Trustee Macaroni?
Thank you.
Next item, board policy, second read. Dr. Calvin.
Second read on 8 board policies, 3410, 3420, 4010, 4040, 4060, 4071, 4090, and 4230. Went through a first read. Well, first of all, went through our governance process. Came here for a first read last month. Happy to answer any questions you might have. I don't think we had any last month, but happy to entertain anything you might have this month.
I have a comment that I'd like to open up. Anyone have any questions or comments? Okay. Just for consistency, I know like example 4060, when it refers to the board, the initial acknowledgement refers to it as Board of Trustees. And so I thought for consistency, whenever the board is acknowledged at, and its first reference, it'd be the Board of Trustees. And similar with the district, the first time it's used, for 4040, for example, the district, that the first time it's used, it'd be Sequoia Community College District, and then thereafter be called the district. So that's the only recommendation I have, just for consistency. Yes,
Do you want to make that change though on 4040?
I-
4040, we're changing to Sequoia's Community College District.
Okay.
I'm making a note,
Okay.
right? And then
Okay.
you said, tell me again on 4060.
so 3410, the first use of, yeah, that we could start there, the district, so to be Sequoia Community College District. And then 3420, the Board of Trustees, the first sentence. And 4010, the Board of Trustees for approval. And 4040, the Sequoia Community College District. Motion, do you motion?
I'll second.
Who seconded, sorry? Trustee
John
Lane,
motioned.
motion.
Yes, I did
trying
hear
to
him
get
say
all those
that.
notes
He was a
down.
little quiet, but I heard him say it.
Accepting the administrative changes.
It was seconded by?
Yep.
All in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? Say nay. Any abstention? Motion carries. If there's nothing else, I think we are adjourned.
I think we should do,